Across the globe, there are few locations as isolated and enigmatic as the continent of Antarctica. Covering more than 5 million square miles, this expanse of land and ice is more than double the size of Australia, yet it has no permanent inhabitants. Its severely cold climate and stringent access regulations have prevented comprehensive exploration, leading many to wonder what secrets might be concealed within its frozen terrain. During the mid to late 1950s, the United States was deeply engaged in the development of nuclear technology, particularly nuclear armaments. Amid the Cold War, it was crucial for the nation to achieve a superior understanding of this subject compared to the Soviets. Consequently, the United States frequently constructed and tested all manner of nuclear devices. Over the duration of the Cold War, more than 1,000 nuclear devices were detonated in U.S. government experiments, with few being as contentious as those carried out under Operation Argos. The primary objective of Argos was to examine the impact of nuclear weapons in cold, high-altitude environments. For these experiments, an estimated 3 nuclear missiles were launched in the Antarctic region. However, the experiment's results were never concluded, and the precise impact locations of the missiles remain unknown. Following this test, the task force overseeing the program was swiftly disbanded, and most documents related to the project were eliminated. This included film reels that would have provided visual evidence of the tests. This situation by itself is quite suspicious. The destruction and concealment of evidence regarding these events certainly raise concerns, yet such actions were not entirely uncommon for that era. But the entire scenario becomes particularly peculiar when considering a prior mission to Antarctica that continues to baffle the public. In 1946, the United States Navy dispatched troops to Antarctica, ostensibly to establish a military base and conduct training for cold weather conditions as part of Operation Highjump. This was not a minor deployment. In total, 4,700 troops were sent to the frigid continent in December of that year. The operation concluded after only a few months, supposedly because the weather conditions became too extreme. A curious explanation, given the known climate of Antarctica. Officially, it was reported that 4 men died during the brief expedition. However, some speculate that the actual number of casualties was significantly higher, and that the United States Navy was attacked during its time there. It is theorized that during their journey through the unforgiving Antarctic landscape, the brigade was assaulted by unidentified craft, compelling them to withdraw from the area. This attack was detailed in a now-leaked Soviet report, in which KGB agents had gathered information from U.S. soldiers who were present at the incident. The American soldiers alleged that while under fire from these hostile forces, they returned fire on the craft, managing to shoot one down into the water. Nevertheless, the advanced technology of these craft overwhelmed the fleet, and they were forced to retreat after suffering the loss of several aircraft and personnel. After the fleet returned to the United States, one of the expedition's leaders, Admiral Byrd, began to publicly state that the United States needed to establish defensive bases in the polar regions, warning that flying craft from that area posed a significant threat to national security. Following these startling and controversial declarations, Byrd was reportedly committed to a mental institution and was not heard from publicly again. By combining the alleged attack during Operation Highjump with the subsequent nuclear detonations in the same region under Operation Argos, a dark theory emerges. Some suggest that Operation Highjump was, in fact, an invasion of Antarctica intended to confront a mysterious force. The deployment of nearly 5,000 soldiers seems excessive for merely setting up a research base. When this operation supposedly failed, and the U.S. Navy recognized it was outmatched by superior weaponry, perhaps they launched nuclear weapons to eliminate the adversary once and for all. This theory is certainly far-fetched, but its inclusion in a Soviet intelligence report and the fact that Admiral Byrd was swiftly silenced after speaking out about this enemy lended a degree of intrigue. Furthermore, the rationale for sending such a large military force to establish a base remains questionable, as does the decision to detonate nuclear weapons in Antarctica for research purposes, especially when no actual research findings were ever published. The disappearance of the test footage only adds to the mystery. Clearly, this theory generates numerous questions that lack answers, with the most significant being the identity of the unknown force that may have attacked the Navy. The speculation surrounding this is extraordinary. Many of the most prominent conspiracy theories concerning Antarctica involve extraterrestrial life. Its immense and uncharted territory makes it one of the few places on Earth where alien life could exist completely undetected. It's plausible that aliens could be present there now without our knowledge. While there is no proof, it is also impossible to definitively disprove. Over the years, many have pointed to features like pyramid-shaped structures across the continent, claiming they are alien bases. They believe these formations were created by extraterrestrials, and other apparent structures have been identified on platforms like Google Earth, resembling artificial or alien-made buildings. Since we are unable to explore these areas to confirm or deny these claims, our imaginations are left to speculate about their origins and what might inhabit them. While these structures could simply be unusually shaped rock formations, a few of them appear quite convincing. Recently, a Google Earth image went viral, appearing to show a crashed spaceship in the snow on an island near Antarctica. The photo displays a distinct trail behind a large cylindrical object, suggesting it had just crash-landed. This image has become closely associated with alien presence in the region, although some experts have dismissed it as a rock that slid down a mountain during an avalanche. It is a compelling photograph that has excited many who believe in extraterrestrial life. There are many other similar photos that purport to show crashed UFOs in the snowy landscape. Proponents of this theory believe these craft belong to alien life forms that thrive in this desolate environment and were responsible for the attack on the U.S. Navy. The idea of hostile aliens residing in Antarctica is a chilling one, and the possibility of a past attack implies they could strike again. With no defense installations in the area, nothing would prevent them from targeting, for instance, a modern research team. However, the theory of aliens being behind these mysterious craft is not the most fascinating one. Another theory posits that members of the Nazi Party managed to escape to Antarctica following World War II. It is claimed that the Nazis brought advanced weaponry with them, such as flying saucers, which were used in the attack on Operation Highjump. This idea may seem strange and confusing, but let's examine it more closely. Even before the start of World War II, Hitler showed a keen interest in Antarctica. He dispatched multiple fleets to survey the landscape, ostensibly to search for sources of margarine fat, as the country's supply was expected to be cut off during the war. It is theorized that during these missions, Hitler identified the vast continent as a perfect hideout in case the war effort failed. Moving forward to the war itself, it is well documented that the Nazis were innovators who were obsessed with developing new and radical technology. These projects included wonder weapons and a variety of other shocking and disturbing creations. It is believed that at one point, the Nazis aimed to construct an advanced aircraft that would be exceptionally powerful and difficult to shoot down. If they had succeeded, these craft would have been unlike anything the world had seen before. Believers in this theory claim they did succeed, building flying saucers in secret to use their superior firepower against their enemies. Considering their other technological achievements, while improbable, it is not entirely impossible that they could have accomplished this. So, if they possessed such advanced weaponry, how did they end up in Antarctica? It is plausible that after World War II concluded, the remaining Nazis fled their homeland to evade persecution, settling in Antarctica where they would likely remain undiscovered. The concept of Nazi soldiers and officials escaping Germany after the war is not far-fetched. Many high-ranking officials were reported dead, yet very few of their bodies were ever found. This has led to its own set of conspiracy theories about their survival. Perhaps they fled to Antarctica, taking their advanced aircraft with them to escape undetected and to safeguard their technology for future use. This makes a certain amount of sense, as the Nazis possessed more information about Antarctica than nearly any other nation at the time, due to their multiple expeditions. Furthermore, in 2016, Russian researchers discovered a genuine abandoned Nazi base in Antarctica, confirming they had at least one established settlement there. It is not too far-fetched to think they may have had others that have yet to be found. So, perhaps when the U.S. Navy arrived in the area in 1946, they ventured too close to a secret Nazi base. In response, the Nazis may have used their advanced aircraft to attack the fleet, deterring them from discovering their hideout. To take the theory even further, perhaps the U.S. retaliated by conducting those missile tests in the area as a covert and quiet way to eliminate the remaining Nazi forces. It is a wild and peculiar thought, and likely untrue, but it remains a possibility. Perhaps, one day, the truth behind these wild theories will be revealed, but until then, the mysteries of Antarctica will continue to fascinate many.